See, that's the thing. It doesn't matter whether you're formally engineer or not. Everyone at the heart of hearts can be an engineer. Welcome everyone. I'm here with Tomás.
Hello guys.
Good to see you, Tomás. How you doing?
Hey man. Happy, thank you.
A good friend of mine, also a maker, doer, builder, hacker. How else would you define yourself, Tomás?
I'm a maker. That's what I love doing.
Exactly. That's awesome. And so, can you tell everyone where we are right now, what this space is?
We are at the C3's Invention Lab in the building Sutarja Hall. This is a space where people come and create and innovate. And no matter how crazy their idea is, here people help them to make them a reality.
Right, right. And so I can tell kind of this space for you has been a place that inspires you and where you've been able to come and work on all these awesome projects. When did you first find out about the Invention Lab?
I think 2 summers ago. It was the first time that I came here. I was funded for a small project, and I found out through the foundry that there was this space, and I began meeting all these people, and they were helping me in routing my efforts, right? Into making something productive. And I fell in love with this place, and since then, this has become my second home.
Awesome.
I think that this is more my faculty than soda.
Yeah, there you go. That's really cool. And so, I guess, could you tell us from the get-go some of the projects that you've been working on?
Yeah, sure. So, I do assistive technology and human augmentation. This was a project I did last semester in interactive device design class. It's an augmented white cane. So the visually impaired have a hard time navigating throughout space, right? One of their main issues is they have this white cane, but there's obstacles at a body head level, right?
Right.
And this can only provide feedback on obstacles on the ground. So this has 2 ultrasound range finders which measure obstacles in this area, and they get a feedback on the handle.
I see.
Showing them obstacles right here.
Right.
This is the obstacle avoidance function, and then we have this, which is a magnetic wristband that is connected via a Bluetooth module into an iPhone app. So the person says, "Hey, take me to Hearst mining circle," and it will compute what are the steps to get to it, and it will vibrate in the direction that you need to go. And this is the navigation assistance. So yeah, this is the augmented white cane SynthSense, and it's a prototype that a group of friends and I built last semester.
Oh, neat. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's
we
really
had fun
cool.
making it.
Right, right. And I could tell also because last year you were part of, or was it 2 years ago, you were part of Big Ideas.
Yes.
Right, and that was with the, what was the name of the project again, remind me?
BC API.
BC API, right.
That's something that we are continuing working, but it's a much harder problem than making something very tangible and working like this. The BC
Right.
API, should I explain it?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
It's a brain-computer interface API for makers.
Right.
So BCI, it's a very hard problem that has been tried to be solved for years, and it's hard if we only work a group of people on it. So what we're doing is an open source community that will collaborate and join forces into making something bigger. So
Right.
we know that we cannot make it happen alone, but together we are
Right.
much stronger. So now we are collaborating with people around the world in this community called Immunotech X,
I see.
and we are working in developing not only the algorithms but also the API, the training interface, and the mechanism to make it easy and abstracted for people with no expertise in signal processing, machine learning, and cognitive neuroscience to make mind control apps with ease.
Right, right. That's really neat. I think what's cool is, you know, I've gotten to know you since, freshman year, and I remember talking to you, probably sophomore year, about your interest in the brain and neuroscience.
Yes.
How did that become a passion for you, and how did you sort of get interested in that area?
Well, in high school, I was in this group called Multiple Sclerosis Peru, which was a weekly meeting that we used to go and do muscle therapy and cognitive therapy for people with MS.
Right.
And it was pretty shocking for me seeing people that had a great life and suddenly they lost the ability to communicate, to move, to do what they enjoyed. And then I came to Berkeley. I always loved programming since I was 14. I came to Berkeley, I took some cognitive science classes, and I was like, wow, what if I learn more about the brain? What if I can really understand what's going on, and then I can hack it?
Yeah.
It's just a circuit. It's a very complex, the most complex circuit.
Right,
it's
right.
made by evolution, years. But I want to try and understand it as much as I can, and by using the natural mechanisms of the brain, we can probe it and enhance it, and
Right.
we can substitute for lost senses, substitute for lost motor ability. We can enhance a cognitive performance. So much to do. Like we're just entering into an era of understanding of the brain, and the more we know, the more we can do about it, and the more we can be transhuman.
Right.
We can. Why wait for evolution?
Right.
We can make it happen now.
To augment those sort of human capabilities
Yes.
and enhance them. Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. I was joking with Chris actually the other day about your plans to become a cyborg. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So you just said it.
Yeah.
I want to be a cyborg. That's
There you
my
go.
plan.
You heard it here first. That's awesome.
And I want to just coin a term: synthetic senses.
Synthetic senses.
Yeah, you heard it from me first.
S squared, double S.
It's just like choose any sense in nature.
Right.
If we can build a sensor for it, then we can find a way of mapping it into some other sensor modality.
Right.
So
Right.
I envision that in the future we will be able to pick and choose. Just okay, I want to have echolocation, and and do what bats do. I want to see beyond the human vision spectrum. I want to see ultraviolet. I want to see infrared. You'll be able to do that.
Right.
We just need to learn more about the human body.
There you
That's
go.
key.
That's key. That's awesome. And so it seems to me like a lot of the projects you've been working on, at least lately, have had kind of a social impact, and especially with helping people with disabilities has been sort of a theme among some of the projects, all of the projects you work on, which I think is really amazing to see. could you tell us a little bit about kind of the importance you see in using, you know, your skills as a maker to assist, you know, those populations of people who, you know, have disabilities or affected by, you know, certain, whether it's brain injuries or others?
So I feel that businesses take advantage of these people. Basically, they make really good solutions, but they are at a price that are not accessible for a lot of people.
Right.
And you know, the demand for these products is basically like inelastic. They sell whatever they have to buy this, so they can have a better life quality. So why not make affordable, easy to use, customizable, assistive technology that people can share, it can improve on. Open source is the key for this. I think it's like reusing existing systems and making it adapt for a specific user.
Right.
So I feel that there's nothing more important or nothing better I could do with my skills than solve meaningful problems.
Right.
I don't care about doing like social apps, the next Tinder or the next Facebook. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. I wanna have an impact in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't see any better way than doing this.
That's awesome. And so, I guess, could you tell us a little bit about, you know, being in the Berkeley community? Obviously, you grew up in Peru, came here after high school.
Yeah.
That must have been a big change, you know, coming from South America to the U.S. But what has, I guess, you know, now in your senior year, inspired you the most about the engineering community here at Berkeley and the maker community? What's sort of brings you back to do more and to continue your work in this area?
So I think that, well, there's many things that motivate me to continue doing this. One of them is working with very talented people. Like here, you mentioned lab, you can see amazing makers that are doing real things that will have a meaningful impact in the world. That motivates me a lot. That makes me want to work harder and keep pushing my limits. Another of the things that motivate me is working with the need knowers, working with the users that have the problem. So if I can validate my design, I can focus my efforts in something that really works. And seeing the reaction when I like solve a little bit of their daily life is so satisfying.
Yeah.
Like it's the best feeling ever. You see that, wow, I am with a weekend of work, I've solved this issue that this person had for years, and no one is doing anything about it.
Yeah.
And that's very, very satisfying for me. It motivates me to continue working on this type of projects.
That's awesome. Cool. I guess my last question would be, do you have any advice for aspiring makers, whether in the Berkeley community or beyond?
First, if someone tells you not to do something because you're not good enough, don't listen to that person, go for it.
Right.
When I was in high school, two of my teachers told me not to apply to Berkeley because I wouldn't get in. I got in. My headmaster suspended me in the last week of school. Now I'm here. No. People thought I was crazy for having all these crazy ideas. Well, Berkeley is crazy enough that it embraced me.
There you go.
I feel that you just need to surround yourself with people with same interests, and just work harder. If you find your passion, then it's not hard to put the effort. If you do something you hate, then you don't want to do it. You won't wake up in the morning. But if you really find a meaning for what you do and you find your purpose, then you will enjoy putting the time and working and spending the whole night working on it because you really believe on the idea. And I think that is fundamental, finding a purpose in what you do. And doing what you enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Always, and always have a positive attitude, and seeing the glass half full and not half empty. Right? Seeing the good things in life, because we are here in an amazing place. We're healthy. We have a family that loves us. We're making what we love. What else can we ask in life? We should be happy and tell to ourselves, hey, I'm happy every day.
Sure. This man inspires me every day, every day. Well, thank you so much, Tomás. I appreciate it.
I'm feeling inspired.
And this is Jay, too, our wonderful videographer.
Success and happiness.
There you go. Yeah. That's really interesting. So, like, what are the applications of sort of this research?
So, since it's like a way to treat water with just sunlight, it's totally sustainable. One day we see it like implemented on the side of buildings, for example.
Yeah.
And that's just a way we could treat water without any excess electricity, and even extra electricity can be collected to heat the buildings, and that's just another part of the research. So we use methylene blue to track how much degradation has occurred.
Yeah.
Later on in the experiment, we'll use actual greywater that we collect from students or volunteers, or we even make our own greywater from greywater recipes from literature.
Oh, okay, neat.
Can you explain what Greywater is?
Oh yeah, greywater is water from the sink. It's just not dirty enough, like, to be... Okay, it's like water that's not contaminated with fecal matter.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
It come from your laundry as well.
So it's not wastewater. It's like, yeah. It's
So
cool.
you have like a pretty good idea of what we do, right? Do you have any questions?
At least that equipment, I got a basic idea.
Yeah,
Using sunlight to treat water.
That is just a smaller scale of this.
Oh, I see.
And that just allows us to do everything indoors. This is our panel that we work with outside. So we can cut this whole thing outside to put it under the sun, and have water running through it, and then we sample it just like we do for that. Except for this one, I did a lot of laser cutting work for this.
Yeah. Make sure the focus is correct. This is a cool seating arrangement. Hello, Friendgineers. I'm here with Elly Lin, 4th year civil and environmental engineering major, product designer, maker, and many more things. Hi, Elly. How's it going?
Hey, Rahul. Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, kind of the first thing I wanted to ask is, like, coming to this cool space, how did you find out about sort of the design resources at Berkeley and product design in general? How did you get involved with that?
Yeah, so I started off as a lost freshman. I started research. I worked with Vivek Rao, who is a PhD student here. He's in the Mechie department, but working in environmental engineering. And he used to work at IDEO, so he's been into product design. He's very experienced with it. And he inspired me to create things for our lab, like the equipment and reactors that we use. He would just assign me some small projects so that I could learn how to use the laser cutter or 3D printer. And from that point, I just was able to create more things and explore the opportunities that you have with laser cutters and prototyping.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And so right now you're taking a class called Critical Making, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Critical Making is a really good class for you to just learn how to merge like fabrication and with electronics. So far we've done some exercises in laser cutting. We were asked to create a box for class. This week we're asked to print a ring, so I made a book ring. It's like one of those rings that you put on your thumb while you read, so you can hold down the pages.
Interesting.
Things like that. They're very open-ended assignments, so you can really explore your creativity and just create anything that you think of, viable or not.
Yeah. That's really neat. And what sort of software and hardware are you using to make these products?
Yeah, so because Vivek is a mechanical engineer, I started off with AutoCAD a lot. AutoCAD is like a free software that you can use, and it's pretty intuitive. So from that point, I was forced kind of to move into Illustrator because of the laser cutters. Here we work mainly in Illustrator and then import it into the printing software, whatever it's called. And yeah, so it's mainly just AutoCAD and Illustrator.
Neat. That's cool. And so having like taken these classes and done research that required, you know, you to make things on your own, has it sort of affected maybe like where you think you might want to go career-wise, or like the things you might want to work on after graduation? Yeah.
So this has been so much fun. I spend so much of my time here. So there's like this really interesting sector between environmental engineering and fabrication, like just creating your own equipment, partly because like just environmental engineering is very specific to different factors and like different circumstances that you have to create your own equipment to really test for certain things.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of like environmental engineering companies are still kind of small right now, so I'm really just open to any like product design career or product management even.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And so now obviously, like, you know, this is your last semester at Berkeley. Do you hope to sort of continue coming to this invention lab, or even other ones, like other maker spaces?
All the time. Like one of my biggest regrets over graduating is like losing access to a laser cutter.
Yeah.
But I know that there are a lot of other spaces out there in San Francisco, or like there are just more and more places coming up that gives you access to all these equipment. And I think customization and like creating things of your own will just be, you know, part of everyday life soon. Like people are getting like 3D printers at home and like 3D pens that you can draw with, and it's just a matter of time that this stuff will be more affordable and easier to like have in your house.
That's cool. Are there any sort of other makers or other projects you've seen from people on campus that have inspired you to like pursue this or continue pursuing
one of the biggest reasons why I'm always in here, just to see what people are working on. I've seen like the tampon flow project that I've shown you, like it tells you how much blood there is and when you should change your tampon. Inventions that help people with disabilities like overcome their disabilities, and that's a really neat space.
So more like a social focus too. That serves like, I guess, a purpose grander than maybe just like something that's just for fun. I mean, while there are a lot of cool things that are just for fun too, and if it can serve, you know, a human need for someone who, you know, may not be able to get a customized piece of equipment to serve, you know, a disability or something, that's really cool, I think. Yeah,
the other day I was at a Tom Igo talk, and he showed us a video of this boy in a wheelchair who has always wanted to be a DJ. And so some makers were able to turn this like little 3D printed platform into this like, he would put his wheelchair onto the platform and it would basically turn his wheels into a turntable. So he would just turn his wheels and he could DJ with that. And it was really exciting and cool, like inspiring to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any advice for sort of aspiring makers or designers or product engineers?
Yeah, just put yourself out there, look at what other people are working on, and you know, always think about maybe how you can improve certain situations or things. Being observant is something that is really important, and just try to be as creative as you can. Like, don't limit yourself to certain boundaries.
Yeah, that's cool. And I guess just for fun question, is there anything on your bucket list for senior year that you still want to do, or things that you have you're waiting to sort of
doesn't have to
try?
Doesn't
have to be maker related, just anything.
Well, one thing that's been on my mind is just like hiking everywhere. I really want to visit Tilden. I still haven't done that. And Point Reyes again. Berkeley has so many great hiking spots.
It does.
I just haven't been to it, and hopefully the weather will, like, you know, cooperate.
Right. That's cool. Well, thank you, Elly. You get a Friendgineers high five.
Thanks for coming.
This was awesome. Cool.
Sitting here with my buddy Daniel. He's one of the best dancers in KPG. And so what are you working on right now, Daniel?
Right now, I was trying to make a pencil case for my own.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
You gonna 3D print that?
no, actually I'm gonna use laser cutter.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Made out of what?
Made out of chipboard.
Chipboard.
Chipboard, right there.
Okay. Cool, cool. Man, if you don't mind, I want to ask some questions about. So we're both, you know, engineering majors in the dance community.
Exactly.
What do you think about? Do you think there's any like stereotypes that exist about engineers and like, you know, being in dancing or?
Engineers are like a symbol of being nerd. You know, always look at books and stuff. But I think like dancing gives also a good perspective of myself. Like I can be a cool person and also being. I don't mean the engineers are not cool.
Yeah, of course.
But they're like, being a dancer means you have to be, how can I say, like active. And communicate with people and like show yourself with like moving stuff. So I think it's like very different to side of myself as becoming like an engineer and dancer. So,
do you think dancing helps you be a better engineer in any way?
It kind of gives like a, how can I say, like an outlet, like exit of myself. Because engineering, I sit on the desk and then like work with my laptop or continuously like doing something on the table. But dancing is like going outside, meeting people, and then like, you know, expressing yourself with your movement. So it's like very different two types. And I think it's a good like how can I say, like an energy outlet.
Yeah, like a stress outlet too.
Exactly.
You know? So you come from Korea, right?
I did. Yes.
You know, what are some things you like about Korea, or more than America, and vice versa?
Korea, it's very safe, I'll say, because there's no gun, so I can hang around outside. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I can hang around outside like at 4 a.m. and I'm totally fine because I know that I'm safe. That's one good thing. Like I can hang out with my friends like till 3-4 a.m. And that's what I like. But in America, what I like the most is like this whole makerspace. So in Korea, I was a good student with good grade, but I cannot do anything that actually like change the world.
Oh, okay, wow.
But here I make prosthetic hands and they give it to children, so they how can I directly improve their life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like giving a good facility also helps me to become a better engineer.
So, talking a bit about like why do you think it's possible that you can make prosthetic hands here and like in Korea it might not be as easy?
Sure. So in Korea, good example is that we had machine shop, but it only had one maker bot, and we have to pay for like all the materials that we use. So we can't be like, you know, actively make a new iteration of design in Korea. But in here, like it's all free. You have like 6 3D printers in the invention lab, and it's always open to be used. So I can go with like multiple designs, and I'm not afraid of failing. But in Korea, if I fail once, I have to pay more, and like that also gives a lot of burden to me. So,
do you think like the access to faculty or knowledge or anything like that is
that
different?
Also helps too. Like faculty itself, like my advisor Elly Lin, she kind of she knows a lot of people in industry and also like other design consulting. So she kind of gets me to connect you with people who's really valuable for my projects. So that's one good thing, like connections and network is very different from Korea.
So one thing I want to say is congratulations on getting into grad school here, Becky. Amazing job, super smart guy. You know, what inspired you to want to go to grad school for Becky?
Sure. So actually I joined a master's program in Berkeley. That's how I came to America. I want to experience like what's difference in Korea and Bay Area, because people talk about a lot like startup, you know, enthusiastic startup atmosphere in Bay Area. So I wanted to feel that. That's why I first came to America. And after I got my master's, I was able to like volunteer to help a kid making a prosthetic hand, and that was so interesting problem that I faced. Like kids never actually had a prosthetic hand before this came out with the technology 3D printing. Because it's so expensive and they easily outgrow them. So I saw the problem and I realized that maybe like the getting doctorate degree on this subject can help millions of people that's in need. So that's how I decided, because it's like a long research, 5 years, 6 years. So it requires a lot of effort in that. So that's when I decided to, okay, I'm gonna go to grad school.
That's a good project. I mean, it is. 5 or 6 years can bring you a long way along that project, I think.
And I'm really strongly like, what is it? Like I set my goals, determined to solve the problem. So let's see what happens.
Cool. So definitely been feeling that that startup culture.
Very different, you know. In Berkeley itself, they have like 3 incubators that students can always apply to, and they help you making prototypes and actually like help you pitch to the venture capital that's in Silicon Valley.
Yep.
So it's very different.
Cool. Is there anything you would want to say to someone who, you know, comes from a different country and maybe, you know, wants to come to America, or any advice that you have for international students?
No, just what I felt is that there are so many opportunities that's different from your own country, because this is America, and since it's Bay Area, like a lot of people, you know, good talented people, money, which is also important, and facilities.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, just come to Berkeley.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
I'll see you at 7.
7? Yeah.
Eight.
I'll see him at practice at 7. Or 8 o'clock.
Sounds
good. Good stuff.
All right.